Airport. Because I like this. Las Vegas. That looks like a cool shop if that shop was open. It's only 5 in the morning though, so really ain't nothing open yet. Vegas, Vegas. Maybe I should get something. Nothing's open yet though. Nothing's open yet. Miss Fields. The store's not open yet. The store's not open. You can see it's 5 in the morning. Ain't no people in here. Normally, but give it to like 8 or 9 in the morning. Boy, it's packed in here 8 or 9 in the morning, and it'll definitely be packed this weekend because you got the playoffs and the Super Bowls. I'm pretty positive the Super Bowl is the single busiest week here. So I didn't know if my last video really went through too well, and now I got music playing here. So let's see. I'm just not real good. If Tony would hold this camera for me. I know it's 4:30 in the morning, Tony. Yeah. So I don't know if that video is going to get uploaded or not, because it wasn't a very good video. Keep this I have it in a plastic bag, because if you put this in a billfold, it's too fat and it's obvious. So it's kind of yeah. To tell you the truth, I don't even know exactly how much is there, and there's starting to get too many people in here to pull it out and count it. But it's definitely 25, and it's definitely 25, and I'd say 27. So I'm not sure. I have made one video before. I'm not sure it's going to get uploaded. But anyway, on covers, Vince Zach and all those really talking about you can't go through TSA with any substantial amount of money, because
American Airlines is in the final boarding process.
They will, of course.
Service to Dallas to gate D11. All
Time out.
Confirmed customers may be on board at this time. Your reservations are subject to cancellation. Once again, American Airlines is in the final boarding process for flight 1780 with service to Dallas. This is a courtesy page for customer Cat and Bacchus, Rye, and Sum. Please report immediately to gate D11.
Well, that was a pain in the ass that happened right when I was doing that. So anyways, they had told me, because I tell them, I come up here to Vegas with, $4,000 or $5,000 a lot of times. Come through here. That's what I usually bring, 4,000 or 5,000, just depending. And, so a lot of times we do win, and we'll go back with 8,000 or 9,000, 10,000, 12,000, whatever. Sometimes we don't win. We don't always win. Nobody always wins. But if you come up here with a plan, you know what you want to bet on, stay away from the slots, you can win most of the time. That's the hard thing, though, is having a plan and sticking to it, and having a decent amount of money. Because if you come up with just $400 or $500, probably not gonna be able to do much with that. But I had told them, I come up here with that kind of money, and now they're telling me, you can't do that, because TSA, they have full. TSA is like a terrorist fighting organization too. They have the full power. They can do anything they want to do, and you can't do shit about it. And I thought, well, that's kind of crazy, but I Googled that, and it's true. Like, there was one story of an old lady who had her whole life savings, $12,000. For some reason, she was carrying it through the airport. I think she was moving to where her daughter lived, and she was taking the money with her, and they took it. This is like a 60-some-year-old lady. What, they think she's a drug dealer? They took it. They seized it because they can. So I was a little scared this morning, but then at the same time, I'm like, my bank is Key Bank, and there is no Key Bank in Nevada, so I couldn't even go to a Key Bank and deposit all this money in my account. What are you going to do if you come up here and win? You have no choice but to take it back through TSA. And I heard a story. I was reading one of the stories about a guy, he had a lot of money. He just told him, hey, I've got $15,000 on me, to make it look that it's not suspicious if he tells them, hey, I've got $15,000 in this bag. And they still took it, because from their perspective is if you have $15,000 in cash on you, that is suspicious in and of itself, which is bullshit. But I mean, just because 99% of the country is broke asses doesn't mean everybody is. But it's like if you're not a complete broke ass and you've got a little bit of money on you, you must be a drug dealer or something, or whatever else they might think you're doing. You know, money laundering, drug dealing. They think you're doing some type of criminal activity. So, I mean, I would have got the money back. That's why I was still nervous. But what I think tends to happen is they take it, and then the government gets like a year to try to pin some charge on you. And if they can't, you get the money back. But it's still a pain in the ass you have to appeal and go through all these processes to get the money back. But so today, I'm positive that's the most I've ever gone through security with. And once I realized I'm going to have to take this through security, I was pretty nervous because I'd heard so much negative about it. And I also, our flight back is at 7 o'clock in the morning, so we're here at 4:30 in the morning. It's not busy. Maybe it'd probably be easier to get through there with that in the middle of the day. But it was really crazy too, because she stopped my bag, which they don't normally stop your bag. Your bag goes straight through that conveyor. She stopped my bag, and she was clearly waiting to see who, because she can see that they can't tell exactly how much money's in your bag on the picture, but they can tell it's a substantial amount of money. I had probably 27,000 in there, and like I say, I've heard of them seizing people's money at 4,000. So clearly, she could tell I had more than 4,000 in there. But she looked back and saw I was the one waiting on the bag, and then she just sent it through. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm positive if it was a black person that the bag would have got pushed, would have got seized, but would have got pushed into the other side where they check it. Or maybe if it was somebody that she didn't think could have $27,000. But also I heard, it's $20 bills that they like. If you go through with a lot of $20 bills, they'll definitely pull you over and take your money. But anyways, I'm hella tired. It's 4:45 in the morning here. Tony is sleeping, but what a great couple of nights we had here. I know the Packers are going to lose either their first game or their second game, but I'm not going to bet a bunch of money on it, because again, that's not in the plan. That's gambling, you know. We come up here, I'm looking for hedges and scalps, and you can find a lot of hedges and scalps, and those are, I'm sure everybody knows, but find hedges and scalps, you'll win every single time. That's a guaranteed win, you know. And people think you can't find them. You can't find first layer hedges and scalps too often, like a minus 130 plus 140 take back. But second and third layer ones, you're going to find a lot of those. Takes a little math to understand it, but you'll win every time on that. So just got to avoid the slots and avoid the tables, because that's just luck, really. But anyway, it's a great weekend here. Great 3 days here. Wasn't really the weekend. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm tired.